Buns. So today we're going to talk about all the stuff that is pretty important, I think, for you to try to get done before Endwalker, stuff that might be affected by the upcoming stat squish, which we don't know at this time quite how severe it's going to be.
Yeah,
we
I've
don't
heard
know
about
if
that.
the stat squish is going to severely impact how easy it currently is to do unsynced content and other content that might be affected. So I'm going to get into all that. And with the Endwalker being about a little over 2 months away, I think now is a good time to set some reasonable goals that you could feasibly do between now and then.
Okay.
It'll keep you busy anyway, but now might be the best time to do those
Let's see what I
things.
should do.
So first of all, in the topic of unsynced content, so like I said,
I
we
have
are
that
getting
mount.
that big stat squish that's coming
Yeah, I have
in
that one.
Endwalker, and we don't know right now how much it will affect unsyncing. Right now, you can easily unsync old Extreme Trials and just sort of blaze through them easy to farm for mounts and things like that. But they did say that they will be adding a small buff in Endwalker that will compensate for the stat squish somewhat, that will make the unsyncing less painful, but we don't know how effective that buff will be. We don't know, like, compared to now, how easy it will be, and a lot of people are speculating that it will be harder to do.
This is exactly what happened in WoW and WoD, is that they scaled everything down and they added like a buff, and then sometimes the buff wouldn't work, and it would like, it was so, like, some fights got harder, some fights got easier. It was just really, really fucking dumb. So I hope that doesn't happen with Final Fantasy.
Unsync content.
Disaster incoming.
It's probably
we'll
better
see.
to err on the side of caution in any case. So I would suggest getting all of your raid and trial mounts from the Extreme Trials from past expansions and the previous Savage raids that you can currently
That's a
unsync.
cool one. I
want to get all those. Their puppies, their ponies, their birds,
I have the
and all
ponies.
that. I think now would be a really good time to
I don't
try to
have that
farm
one.
those out before
I don't
the
have some
stat
of those.
squish
I need
and
that one.
Endwalker
That's the one I
happens.
want.
You want to complete the Coils of Bahamut unsynced if you don't want to go through the super high difficulty raid. Most people do tend to just go through unsynced to watch all the cutscenes and experience the story, because it's a pretty
Super high
important
difficulty.
story as we're going into Endwalker.
It's not that hard, is it?
We will, of course, be going into Charlian. That is the homeland of Archon Louisoix.
Oh,
and the
yeah.
Coils of Bahamut story teaches you about the fate of what happened to Archon Louisoix, and that's going to be really important information as we
that was fucking
go there to
badass.
Charlian and try to piece together the puzzle of whatever the Endwalker story will be. So if you do enjoy the story and you haven't done Coils, well, you are kind of regret it by the time we get to Charlian.
God damn.
So go do that unsynced. I would say do it unsynced now before the expansion, so you'll be fresh when you get into the expansion, and so that hopefully after the stat squish, it won't be much harder to do unsynced, because right now we don't really know. I should also mention that Natsuko Ishikawa, the main writer for Shadowbringers and Endwalker, has suggested that you do this. Like, you definitely want to do Coils of Bahamut to watch all the cutscenes, at least do it unsynced. She also recommended
Also, I want to say, people talk about spoilers and stuff like that, guys. I really, it's super cringe. It's super weird. Like, those monsters are fucking badass. Like, I really like how they look. That's so cool. Like, that's badass, right? Like, look, I played Mark back in Smash. So that's basically like, you know, same thing. Wait, they fight on the moon? Wait, what? They're on the moon? We're going to the moon, boys! What? Oh boy. Oh wow. I do not even know what to say. A spoiler in the story like that does not ruin the story for me.
You complete the Omega Raid series from Stormblood. She said that these are both going to be important to know about for the Endwalker story. So she said that was pretty important side content to complete before the expansion. And again, stuff that you can unsync now. Honestly, Omega even unsynced is not the easiest, but you can get through it. you can go in through AlphaScape and find out where they get the chicken
look
tenders.
at that,
Ultimates
dude.
might be affected by the stat squish as well, so
I might as well get those out of the way, too.
Is there time to do an ultimate before
Yeah,
Endwalker?
I should do the ultimates.
Yes. Sure, why not? Yeah, okay. I mean, you could. There's probably time. You could do uwu, most likely. Another thing you
That's
can,
the
of
one
course,
I do wanna
while
do.
you're unsinking old content is farming glams.
That's
glams
badass.
from old dungeons and old raids and things. Might want to look at the Eorzea collection
Yo, that set looks
website
cool.
and search through the gear sets
What the
there
fuck?
and see maybe there's any gear sets that you really want to hunt down. You also want to prepare gear for the various jobs or roles you might be considering playing or maining in Endwalker. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to get a bis set for those jobs, though. I mean, that can be fun to do to feel like super ready for the new expansion. But you know, having a decent set for the jobs or thinking.
I'm not even gonna worry about that, bro. Like, I'm just gonna get the gear that I want. And I'll gear what I can, and that's it. Because like in the new expansion, like the reality is like by the time you hit max level in the new expansion, like all your shit's gonna get replaced. Like everything's getting fucking replaced anyway. So like, yeah, you want to get the gear so it's like easier to level, but like really, like what do you mean easier to level, bro? Like what is it gonna take you, like 9 hours and 15 minutes instead of 9 hours and 30 minutes? Oh, who gives a fuck, right? I'll be right back. I'm back. Sorry about that, boys.
And keeping in mind that Reaper will be considered a maining job, so it will be sharing gear with Dragoon. So you might want to maybe level Dragoon, get some of that maiming gear
I need to do that
could
too.
be shared, and like also work on Reaper. Or you could gather even the glamour, the maiming glamour for Reaper, so you can look.
That way you can already look
keep
good.
in mind that it is what is on the inside that counts. I know this
That's
is
not
pretty rich
true.
coming from me, but you want to clean up your inventory. Yeah, my inventory has not
What's
been
so
good
funny about
lately.
that?
So look, I feel your pain if you also are suffering right
Yeah.
now with terrible inventory. But you know,
What's so funny about-
there
what's
are
so funny
people
about that?
have made the guide on how to clean up your bags.
Yeah, this is
The game. So I'll put a link to that where you can, you know, watch the guide from the person that really knows how to clean up their inventory really good. So that should help. But
Okay.
you're gonna want to do that
listen.
at some point before the expansion. But you can probably
not
do
watching
later,
it.
like, right? You can just put it off. You can do that.
I'm
later.
not watching
You
it.
want to gear up and level your retainers. Your retainers, of course, being your bank in the game. For some people who may not know what retainers are yet, though I'm very excited about retainers in the expansion because I will have Bunny Boy. I'll have Bunny Boy retainers. I'll have my harem there for me. You also want to clean up and prepare your UI, maybe even reconsider your setup a little bit, because I recently changed my UI after I got the Logitech G600 mouse. No, I'm not paid. I'm not sponsored by Logitech, but I have enjoyed the mouse a lot.
That's
and
so
it's
many
caused me
buttons.
to
Like, what the hell?
reconfigure my hotbars and everything. And
Oh my God.
It took me, like, basically what I'm saying is if you're thinking about getting an MMO mouse, going into the new expansion, you are probably going to want to get it like at least a month before the expansion comes, because it took me about a good solid month to really get a handle on it. And the more time that you can give yourself to get used to a new mouse, where
I could never do that with all the buttons on the fucking side. Like I use I use a simple, real fucking easy to understand mouse. Like it's got 2 buttons on the side, it's got the 2 clicky things, and it's got the wheel in the middle, and that's just about fucking it. It's got this extra button in the middle that changes like how fast it goes, and like that messes me up all the time. Like that's it. It's simple, it's clean, and there's no problems.
a bunch of buttons on the side of it.
Yeah, fuck no, dude.
It was very, very difficult and very awkward for me for like at least a month. So I wouldn't want to play without it. It's incredible. I'm really glad I have it now. But if you are going to change your setup in that way, get a new mouse, then you want to get it as soon as possible, because you don't want to be struggling with it when the expansion is new. Like it was very painful and very hard for a long time. Okay, I did make a video, and this video was made before I got the mouse, so the hotbars don't look the same as they do now. But I did talk about how I set up my UI. I talked about my job.
I just make my UI look like WoW.
And
that's
how
about
I
it.
created that. So
yeah,
that,
it's
I'll
just
link
like
that
WoW
in the description box down below, so you can get an idea on how I do things. You also want to inform yourself on all of the upcoming job changes. Now, we're expecting to hear more about that later this month, maybe in the live letter that's upcoming this weekend. So stay tuned for that, and we will hopefully very soon learn more about the new jobs and what major changes are coming to existing jobs, so we can like make informed decisions about, you know, which jobs do I really want to gear up right now in preparation for the expansion. What do I really want to main? You want to get the level 3 FC buffs ready. Okay, so
what the fuck
I
is this?
actually don't run an active FC. I don't.
Oh.
I really just don't have time to run an FC.
So these are like buffs that you can get. It's the same as like the golden saucer one, but you can choose them, right? Yeah, like that's how it is. Yeah, okay.
To be in an active FC where there's a lot of expectation. Like I just cannot, because I'm pretty busy with the Discord and Twitch and everything else. But I can recommend that if you're like me and you're not in an FC where they have the FC buffs ready. I know that the highest level FC buff is tier 3, Heat of Battle. That's 15% XP buff. That's what I meant. I'm talking about XP buffs here. That's really going to be amazing for you whenever you're leveling in the early days of the expansion. And so if you're like me, you might want to pick up some Squadron Battle Manuals. Those will give you 15% XP bonus, so that's as good as the best FC buff. But it only lasts for 2 hours. But for me, that's been fine.
Like, I'm not gonna worry about experience. I'm really not, because like if it's anything like Stormblood or not Stormblood, but like Heaven's Ward, like I'm gonna hit max level probably at the end of the story, and like maybe I'm like level fucking 88 or 89. I just run a few dungeons, right? It's not that big of a deal. Like I'm not that worried. You won't? No, it'll be fine, man. I'm not worried about it at all. Like, I'll get it done. It'll be easy. It'll be E motherfucking Z.
I've been collecting those with my adventure squadrons, sending them out on the missions, and getting as many battle manuals as I can as we go into Endwalker. I'm just trying to collect them and not use them.
I need to get this.
Well, actually, I don't need to use them because I have all my jobs at max level. So that's another thing that you can do.
Fuck
Side
that.
note.
Fuck that. Like I'm gonna play a healer.
Jobs at max level, and
yeah, it's not happening.
Mount, who's very lovely. As for the story, now I mentioned at the start of this video, we were talking a little bit about coils, and we were talking about Omega a little bit. Those were the two things that Natsuko Ishikawa, the writer, said that you really, really should go through. Like, that's the most important recommendations that she had if you want any kind of hints on the story for Endwalker or any important backstory for Endwalker. But in addition to that, she gave some other recommendations. If you have more time, like if you have more time than just clearing out coils and Omega.
What should I know?
She said that you should also do previous side content, because Endwalker is intended to be a conclusion. It's supposed to be a big conclusion to this huge story arc that we've been having since the beginning of the game. And so
well, I thought Endwalker's not the end though, right? Like, yeah, it's not the end. It's not the end. It is. It's the end of part 1. It's the end of the arc. That's crazy.
I think it's going to be sort of like maybe like we might get little reminders of all the little people and all the little places that we met along the way.
That's real cute.
And so she suggested that you do 4 Lords, you do the We're Lit story.
I don't know what that is.
And all the job quests.
I'll probably do all these.
Quests. And also doing Eureka and Baja. Now, as for Baja, that would be my suggestion that you focus on.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
I would strongly suggest that you finish Baja Citadel, all the Save the Queen story.
That's cool.
For Endwalker, because I believe that content is going to die for a while.
It's awesome.
The expansion launches.
Baja
I don't think it's
Blast.
gonna be dead forever because Baja is very good leveling content from 70 to 80, but yeah, it's probably going to be really difficult to do that for quite some time.
Yeah, I want to try that out
because that's how you can get your relic weapons. That's the main thing that I'm focusing on.
That's
right
cool.
Now. As we're going into Endwalker, I'm collecting as many beautiful, sparkly, shiny relic weapons as I can, and you do that from doing a Baja Citadel. So I'm going to put on screen. I think I'll try to show somewhere.
Those
screen,
actually look really cool. Those remind me of like the challenge mode weapons of like Mr. Pandaria
suggest that you do that
or WAD.
before the expansion. You could also do Eureka. That was another thing
Damn.
Natsuko Ishikawa suggested doing, which was kind of odd.
Bro, I
I
gotta
wonder
do
if
a
we will
lot.
actually get an update on the Eureka
Oh my,
story.
when does this shit come
Eureka
out?
is still active. You know, Eureka is
Oh my God.
similar to Baja content that is no longer as active as it was
Oh my
when it was
God, 2
out
months.
in Stormblood, but there's still
I got
plenty of people
2
doing
months
it.
to
I mean,
beat
I'm
this
going
game.
into Baldessian Arsenal, the
Bro,
major
I've
raid from Eureka relatively often, I would say, and I see runs going all the time for that. I know someone that very recently, like in the past
Yeah,
month
I gotta do this, man.
completely went through
This
all of
is
Eureka
I've
from
been
the
being
beginning.
lazy.
So it's quite possible to do now, and that is something that
Been
you
being
can,
a lazy ass bitch.
busy yourself with as we go into the expansion. I know there's some very cool, like glowy, shiny glamour that you can get from Eureka, and of course the relic weapons, the beautiful relic weapons. I would say that it's worth doing to get the experience of
2
Baldessian
months.
Arsenal.
Yeah, I
which
got
is
time.
incredible,
I got time. I'll be
and to
fine.
get the very cool mount,
It's
Demi
okay, boys.
Ozma from the final raid that you get access to at the end of Eureka. Though I just about lost my mind trying to get it. Before I go today, I want to remind y'all that we do have a
Okay.
live letter coming this
So
Friday,
7
September
p.m.
17th at 7
Okay.
p.m. PDT.
I'll have to watch
so if you're in
that.
Europe, it's going to be once again at the butt crack of dawn. It'll be at 1 a.m. UK time. For me, it's going to be 3 in the morning. I might be sleeping through
Oh
it,
my
watching
God.
the VOD later.
That's late, but
If I
it's
can,
not
we'll
late
see.
for me.
How can I sleep under such circumstances? We'll
I'm
see
okay.
about it. But that's this Friday, so please look forward to it. And if you haven't heard, there's also the Final Fantasy XV collab event is back. It is happening this week, so that's
Five
hey,
hours
that's
usually
one
full
thing
of
that you might want to do right now. That is, of course, before Endwalker. I think it's going to be here until October 18th. At 7:59 a.m. PDT is the cutoff time on October 18th. So right now is your chance to get that car.
I'm gonna get that
It's a
car.
very awesome car.
Yeah, that's
from
easy.
the
That's the
collab.
easiest easy of
And
my
it's
life.
200K MGP. You can also get the hairstyle, Noctis hairstyle. You can get the Noctis Glam, and it's not very hard to do at all. It's pretty easy to go through that and do the trial. I mean the not trial, the personal instance that you have to do, the personal solo duty, no problem.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's cool.
That's already live. That's
Yeah, I
right now.
wanna
You can
try
log
that
in
out. That's
and get
badass.
the car from doing the little quest there. Buns, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video and I
Okay.
hope it's
Yeah,
been helpful
Rich.
for
Yeah,
you.
I'll
in
figure
sorting
it out.
to
Listen, guys, it'll be fine. I'll
crystallize
figure it out.
some of the goals that you
It's
might
totally
want to
fine.
set for yourself between now
Here, let me link this
and
to you guys.
Endwalker. If you like this
Rich
video,
died
please
6
consider
times.
supporting the channel on Patreon or on Twitch. You can also support the channel for free by clicking the subscribe button
Oh my
or by
God.
sharing this video with
Yeah,
your
it'd be
fellow
fine.
Warriors of Light. Thank you so
Just
much
shot
for
it,
watching.
Rich.
and
I
I'll
didn't
see you
know
next
that.
time. Bye.
Okay. That's a good video. There's a video. You guys can link it. Dude, I need to get some of that shit done. Well, McConnell joined the Final Fantasy XIV ride. So I want to go ahead and talk about that. There is a chance McConnell's like, hey, man, you haven't gotten me a new PC for a while. And I was like, really? If I get you a new PC, will you play Final Fantasy XIV? And he said, with a bunch of dots behind it. Didn't you buy him a 5K PC? Yeah, but a 5K PC 3 years ago is a 1K PC now. Let's be honest. All right, let's look at this. It's happening, boys. What is this? Definitely. You know it.
You know it.
I know it.
I know it.
Everybody knows it.
Everybody knows it. I'm saying this,
Look,
and I'm thinking to myself, what's wrong with me?
I did have a Blastoise. Why was that part of it?